Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast, and we're looking at playa props here on a Tuesday. 9 games in the NBA to select from, so plenty of options on the table here. Definitely want to make sure to subscribe to that page. Check out the other episode we're bringing you each and every weekday alongside these playa props. One of the best bets, got sides and totals looks for you guys in there, in addition to these playa props. Also have the email newsletter that we are now shelling out to you guys every Friday to stay up to date on what we're doing on thelines.com. Make sure you know about all the upcoming episodes and sports that we are betting on as baseball gets back into play here soon, and obviously the NBA playoffs gearing up in another month or so. So check that out, and you'll also get the bonus parlay that Nate and I are putting out each Friday for you guys in that newsletter. 1-0, up 1.5 units. So we're looking to keep it going for you this week as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into what we've got for playa props. Nice little day on Monday overall, a little 6-1, right, between the best bets and the playa props. So let's keep it going here with your first look for Tuesday, Nate.
Yeah, a guy we had been fading, Jimmy Butler. I'll take the over this time, 10.5 rebounds and assists. I think if Steph is actually ruled out, you can add the points here. I mean, you could add the points either way, but really we're looking at Jimmy as a guy you fade against teams that don't bring much to the table, like the Charlotte Hornets, which has been 2 of his last 3 appearances. And now we're facing the Knicks. We're facing maybe a bottom 5 defense in the league. I think you could say that easily with Cat questionable for personal reasons here. A team that's given up the 5th most assists, 8th most rebounds in their last 7, is the 6th worst rim defense, and is allowing opponents to shoot 45% on corner threes. So the recent data would definitely indicate assists are the stronger thing here for Butler, because he just hasn't put his nose in there for rebounds. But I think that's more of an effort like thing, that the rebound chances are so low that he's just out there, kind of like picking dandelions. That's totally Jimmy Butler, right? I mean, when he's just like, I don't care about this game. Now we're at the Garden. Potentially Steph rolled his ankle last night. He says he's going to try to go, but I would be concerned if I was the Warriors to say, like, we got a good mojo going here. Let's not like put you out there on a weak ankle. Either way, like I just think Jimmy comes with it. The Knicks have been playing nothing but high scoring games, nothing but usually competitive games when they face a good team. And yeah, I mean, Jimmy, only 17% usage in these last 5. So he's been saving up for something. Didn't want to play against Philly. I guess they weren't even worth his time, as sort of like a slight to them when whatever he felt about his time there, getting kicked out the door there. Was like, yeah, you guys ain't even worth suiting up. But I think he'll be out there in the Garden getting some stats.
Yeah, I can see it. I actually think I would add the points, and that's in part because I don't know if Steph is. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be good to go, I guess. He's a little bit questionable after last night's game, so we'll see. But I think I want to see what happens with Steph to bet on Jimmy. And I mean, the assists are probably fine, but he has been diming up to Steph a lot. So I do want Steph to be out there. But either way, I 10.5 caught my eye, and then just put the brakes on it for 1 second till I can get a little bit more of an understanding. But it does look like he's been at shoot around. He's like ready to. He's like gearing up to play. Doubt he would want to miss anything at the Garden there, especially when the Knicks didn't draft him because he had paper thin ankles and he can't miss this game, against the Knicks at the Garden. I don't know if that's still in his head. That was like 18 years, whatever, however long ago. But let's go over back to that Indy game with the Rockets in town and take Amen Thompson over 8.5 boards in this one, and you can still get that for like minus 130, minus 135 now, but I'm still taking that at 8.5. Maybe you just take something like a double and get like plus money, and maybe just reduce the units a little bit to up the juice, or just take the 10 boards, however you want to play. But I think he's good for 10 in this game. First of all, like, he's gonna see 35 minutes in this game, barring like foul trouble. We've established that even when Jabari and Tari are available for Amen, who has been declared the starter, they felt the need to make clear, like, Jabari Smith's back, doesn't matter. Amen Thompson is our starter, which we were all hoping and expecting. But either way, now that he's there, he's still at about 34 minutes. He hasn't played less than that, other than a blowout win in their last 5 with Tari and Jabari both available. If you look at him in 35 plus minutes, and that's really what I think we should be giving him in these matchups, 35 plus minutes for Amen right now on the season, and he's looking at about 11.4 rebounds per game when he sees the 35 plus. And that includes a couple games with like 40 minutes, but he's capable of it. He's already played a 40-minute game with those guys available once again. So I want to make clear, like, this is based on me still going, Amin's not losing time. He's now going up in a matchup against a very fast-paced team that is going to be out in transition where he gets a good amount of rebounds, tip-ins, things of that nature, and not a good rebounding team in general for this Indy team, whether they're in the half court or in transition, as they're in the bottom half of the league. And definitely guys like Amin are going to come in and have a matchup like, say, and he's not, I guess maybe he'll go up against Pascal in this game. I'm not sure if he'll be the matchup yet for him or not. Pascal's playing out on the perimeter a good amount. But either way, if he's playing Pascal, that's the only guy that's also really posting anybody up and going down low like that. So he should be in pretty good position on defense for that. But if you look at him when he plays fast-paced teams, he's played the top 10, a team in the top 10 in terms of fastest pace 14 times this season, over in 10 of 14, averaging 9.3 boards in those situations. So I think he gets a little bit of a bump from playing a faster team in transition, and this is a good opportunity for him.
Yeah, and if you do need a better number, I think you can add the points, like you're saying, either double-double or just the combination. Indy is giving up to small forwards the second most rebounds and points in the last 15 games. I think he probably, I think with Eason and Jabari available, those guys probably guards Siakam more. Maybe Amen chases Halliburton for some time here. No Benny Matz out there, but Indy's a team that while they give up a lot of rebounds, a lot of them are to wings, right? Because they shoot so many threes and there's a lot of long rebounds going out there. So either way, like even if he's playing defensively on the perimeter, I think he'll be collecting a lot of these going the other way. That there's a lot of angles here for this Cavs game at the Bulls. I'm not ready to take minus 12.5, but I mean, no Evan Mobley. We know this. So DeAndre Hunter's the play I'm giving out here. 14.5 points. Sixth man of the year. I don't know if the market's like down right now, but I think Pritchard is losing steam right as Hunter and his boy Ty Jerome are just like crushing it off the bench. I was looking at a little parlay for Jerome to get at least 10 points and Hunter to get this number, seeing what kind of plus money you can get here, because I mean, it's probably going to be a comfortable win. They're probably going to be walking into a lot more minutes, both these guys, on the front end of a back-to-back with no Evan Mobley. We've seen that the Cavs immediately kind of shift to a faster-paced, guard-heavy team without Mobley. 124 offensive rating, 99.5 pace in the 6 on the season. They happened to not have him against the Bulls in November, and that game totaled 270. And Karis LeVert in this now what is DeAndre Hunter's role off the bench, 22 points in 26 minutes. Also, Darius Garland, a fantastic game, 29-9. The team shot 49% from three. Hunter is shooting the leather off the ball right now. Last 18 points a game, 20% usage. But if you put that out to per 36, he's getting 24.5 a game. So I'm not saying he's going to get 36 minutes, but 30 is definitely in the sphere here. With the Heat coming to town tomorrow for Cleveland, I think they're going to try to get Donnie out of there a little early if they can against this Bulls team, which is basically like rookies and second year guys.
Yeah. I'm not sure. They're punting, it seems like, too. We know Vooch is out. Pat Will has been out. Well, we've got Io out. I don't think he's coming back this season either. And now Giddey is questionable as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with Giddey. Like there's some suspect questionable tags at this point. And I just want to make sure I know I'm forgetting one of these Q tags here. There's one other missing, but yeah, I think either way, like what are you expecting from the Bulls tonight, right? Like if they're sitting all these guys out, you also got Lonzo and Huerter. So like you said, like, I don't know who, some guys, you might not know everybody that plays for Chicago tonight. We're going to be seeing plenty of Matas, I imagine, and company like that. So there's not much reason to take anybody who is a sort of a top 2 or 3 guy on this team. They're not even playing Mobley. So DeAndre Hunter makes a lot of sense as a guy to come in with a pretty low point total that, like, if you give him 28 minutes, right, he should be good for like a 28.5 point total, or 28, an 18, should be about 17, 18.5 points. That's what he's proven this season, especially when he was on the Hawks. And now it's just going to be his world again, I would imagine, alongside his buddy Ty Jerome, who maybe they do eat into each other's 6 man of the year votes, because I still got my 10-1 on Peyton P. So let's keep our fingers crossed there. Start getting Peyton, start blowing some teams out again, boss. What the hell is going on? All right, let's go to the New York matchup with the Dubs, and I believe Cat's good to go. Did you say that he was questionable? Because I didn't see him anywhere on the report.
Yeah, questionable for personal reasons.
Oh
Not
God,
the knee anymore.
that got added. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, I like him for 2.5 dimes if he plays. And I can tell you if he doesn't play in this game, probably going to be looking at Jalen Brunson dimes. I'm just trying to play on the Warriors over pressuring defense that double teams, forces the ball out of the hands of primary ball handlers. And if you're a post player, they're going to try to force the ball out of your hands as well, because as good of a defender as Draymond Green is, 7 foot, 287 foot-pounds is still going to trump 6'5", no matter how big of a heart you got. Big heart, great. But yeah, this is a little bit just more about size and skill with Cat. So that's why you got to double him. And that's why you get assists as centers do against the Dubs. They're giving up the fourth most assists to centers on the season. Cat's averaging 3.1 a game. So when I see 2.5 for plus 110 on some books and like minus 110 on others, I'm like, okay, well, let's play season averages here. The matchup also adds up. If I can project the normal 35 minutes for him, which sounds like if he plays, he's good on that knee that we were worried about, or I was worried about for a bit there. And it looks like that's okay. So this personal reasons, I don't know what's going on. We'll have to wait and see. If he plays, though, 2.5 dimes, going to go for that big time. Like I said, they're going to double team him down low. That's led to a ton of those assists for centers in general. If he's not available, I do think Jalen Brunson will receive that same treatment. He'll get the Gary Payton draped all over you, not going to let you do anything. And Gary Payton's going to be out there for 5 fouls. Like, it's fine. He's just going to make sure Brunson can't get too many easy shots, and obviously wants to force him into the defense, into the teeth of the defense, who are going to step out and guard him as well. So I think the assists will be there for him. They are giving up a good amount of assists to point guards on the season for that reason, that they do try to blitz and they give up a ton to the spot up shooters. So I can't comfortably bet on a guy like Mikal Bridges, who is about as inconsistent as it gets at this point. But guys like Josh Hart and OG, I think this is a good Miles McBride game as well, especially if Cat is out. I think you'll see a bit more Deuce in this one as a good defender for Steph as well, and somebody that they'll have out there for at least like 22 to 25 minutes to chase Steph around and then hit those spot up shots. So those are the types of guys I'd be looking for points. But JB on the assists, unless Cat plays, and then that's my favorite assist play for some really good plus money too.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a side to look at. I hit Warriors +5 when I saw it this morning, that I was concerned Steph might not play, but now I'm thinking Cat might not play. And I think, as we say often, like, if Cat or Josh Hart does not play, the Knicks are just going to be toast pretty much. So I think with the Jimmy Butler mojo the Warriors have here, it's still +4.5. Maybe you want to look at the money line there and just kind of hedge it that way. But yeah, there should be plenty of prop opportunities based on whether we know what the deal with Cat and Steph on the other side is.
And this is not a situation where I'm going to try to get ahead of it. I'm going to wait for the news to see what it do. But if Cat is not out there and Steph is out there, then I think it should probably be like -1, -2 for the Dubs. In which case I'd take anything up to about that number. If everybody's healthy in this one, agree that +4.5 is too much for the Dubs against one of the worst defenses in the league. Let's not forget that. And let's keep reminding ourselves, as we want to bet on New York, that they're not healthy enough right now and they're horrible on defense. I don't know how Tibbs is getting to sleep at night, but let's go ahead and wrap it up with that. We are going to be back here on Wednesday with everything we've got here, player props and best bets. So make sure you are subscribed to that channel, continue to follow along, and make sure you do click that description to check out the link for the email newsletter. And don't miss any of the action that we're bringing you there on thelines.com. Until we see you next, happy betting.